Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Two ginormous Japanese powerhouses are joining powers to better the automotive world. Before we jump into the article, hit that like button, subscribe for more Toyota, Lexus news, and let's just jump on over to this article from Autoblog. Toyota and Suzuki partner up on autonomy with Capital Alliance. Automakers will take small equity stakes in each other. They are doing this to develop newer technologies and meet sweeping changes upending the global auto industry. So there's a lot of changes in the auto industry right now. We have tons of autonomous sort of things and safety technology that is developing very quickly. And these smaller car automakers just they don't have the research and development to be able to develop them at the rate the big boys do, like Tesla or General Motors or Toyota for this example. So a lot of these automakers even the big ones are joining alliances with smaller ones. And the big boys do get a big slice of the pie. Speaking of which, Toyota will pay around $908 million, which is 96 billion yen, for about 5% stake in Suzuki. Suzuki will acquire about $454 million worth of shares in Toyota, which is equivalent to 0.2% of Toyota. So just like a minuscule amount that Suzuki is taking from Toyota, but Toyota is taking a much bigger slice because they're the ones in control in this partnership. But let's backtrack a little bit. The tie-up is the latest example of automakers chasing scale to manage costs and boost development, which I just talked about. Suzuki, being a smaller one, are struggling to meet the breakneck growth of an industry transformed by the rise of electric vehicles, ride-hailing, autonomous driving. So electric vehicles is a big one as well that Toyota has a lot of experience in. They can help a lot of other automakers be able to develop electric vehicles. Now, I don't think electric vehicles are nearly as complex as internal combustion engines. I think with the amount of developers these guys have, engineers, I should say, they should be able to produce EVs on their own. Like I said, I don't think it's all that hard, but what is hard is the cost of it. The batteries are expensive, the mining, the production, that is the expensive part of it. And these little companies do need some big help. And this is kind of funny because they're talking about building and deepening the cooperative relationships in new fields while continuing to be competitors. Yes, they are competitors, but they know that if they don't team up, they can dissolve into nothingness. They can go bankrupt. So they need, it's a catch-22. They can't survive with them, they can't survive without them, sort of thing. So it's better to get the help from Big Brother in Japan to continue business for smaller ones like Mazda and Suzuki. Firm said in 2016 they were exploring a partnership, citing technological challenges and need to keep up with industry consolidation. So fast forward 3 years later and it's finally happening. And then this is something I didn't know. Earlier this year they said they would produce EVs and compact cars for each other. And like I said, as costs go up around the world and development costs, especially for the new technologies, go up, you're going to see a lot of these cars having very similar powertrains, very similar safety capabilities. They'll have about the same autonomous driving. So everything is just kind of slowly melding together. And then we're probably just going to have some really big, maybe 4 or 5 really big companies that have the majority of the technology out there. Again, automakers around the globe have been joining forces to slash development and manufacturing costs of new technology. Ford and Volkswagen are teaming up. They're spending billions of dollars to develop electric and self-driving vehicles. It doesn't stop there, right? The deal brings Suzuki firmly into Toyota's orbit alongside Daihatsu, Hino, Subaru, Mazda, and Yamaha, which I am a huge fan of. Somewhat fan of Subaru, but definitely Mazda and Yamaha. I know they've been working with Toyota for a while now. Nissan has an alliance with Renault, but that's kind of shaky because of the former chairman. and with Mitsubishi Motors. So maybe Nissan and Mitsubishi team up if they're no longer going to be with Renault. Honda has a tie-up with General Motors. That's something I actually didn't know. That's kind of surprising. You'd think Honda would want to tie up with some of the Japanese brands, but if Toyota, their main rival, is partnering up with those Japanese brands, are probably going to look elsewhere, and hence the General Motors team up. Toyota has been looking to expand, scale, and next generation technology, and said this year it'd offer free access to patents for EV motors and power control units. I didn't make a video on this, but yes, you can essentially use Toyota designs in your own vehicles, and they're not going to come after you for legal reasons. It believes that they believe that this move would help it cut by as much as half the outlays for expanded electric and hybrid vehicle components in the United States, China, and Japan. So I think Toyota's doing that to get the ball rolling for EVs, and try to reduce the gap that Tesla has over everyone else in terms of EVs. They're just trying to stay afloat, I guess, in the electrical business. Even though it's just getting started, Tesla is still out and ahead in a lot of terms. Not all terms, but in a lot of ways they're ahead in their technology and their battery electric vehicles. Supply and rivals greatly expand the scale of production for hardware. And Suzuki, which specializes in affordable small compact cars, has been struggling to keep the pace with the huge cost of investing in research and development for automated driving functions. And again, they just remind everyone, Toyota said in June, it aims to get half of the global sales from electrified vehicles by 2025, 5 years ahead of its previous schedule, and will tap Chinese battery makers to meet the accelerated shift to battery or electrically powered vehicles. But that sums up that article. Suzuki getting sucked into the Toyota juggernaut. They don't really have a choice. They need to be able to compete, especially with the safety features and the big shift into battery electric vehicles of such. So pretty exciting times in the automotive industry. Things are shifting very quickly. And if you don't like Tesla, you can at least thank them for moving the industry ahead in a lot of ways in terms of safety features, autonomous driving, and of course battery electric propulsion, in which this article does talk a little bit about. So just a couple days left to register for the F-Inspired Lunchbox. Go ahead and support the channel over on Patreon. And of course, thank you to my current patrons. Couldn't do this without you. Although we no longer have Suzuki vehicles here in the United States, or I should say Suzuki cars, because we still have watercraft and motorcycles and probably like snowmobiles, things like that nature. But we don't have Suzuki vehicles here in the US, which I was sad to see them go a few years back. They need to stay afloat. I will see you guys in the comments below and in the next video. And until next time, peace out.